Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of season 12 of the V8 Vet Split 3. We're in the driver's lounge. Got a few boys already in tonight. I've got Bruce McLeod, Craig Healy, Ed Cullen, Joseph Granshaw, Laurie Saunders, Mark Dial, the man himself. And we've got Marshy and Will Munro. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, John, how you
Evening,
going
John.
today, mate?
Oh,
Evening, everyone.
not too bad. We might just start by throwing up the grid so we can see where everyone's going to be starting out of this one. So we throw up the first 7, and that's the last 7. Bug it up already. We'll start at the start. Mark Dial on pole. Well done, Mark. Big turn up for the books there.
It was.
Andrew Galley in second. We'll talk about the Galleys a little bit later on.
Hey, Johnny, don't you reckon there was a sandbag there?
With Andrew? No. With
No,
Mark.
Mark.
With Mark.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that. Don't count your chickens before they all hatch. Timmy Betts in third. Ed Cullen, the surprise package, in fourth. Simon, the pinball wizard Farrington, in fifth. Jeremy Bush in sixth. Matty Mods, if you haven't seen Matty's Twitch stream, you need to go have a look at that, from Locked On Racing, in seventh. Scott the Rattler Van Loon in eighth. A privateer, I believe, but I'm under the understanding he's one of the Pecky's boys. Darren Waldron in ninth. Michael Power in 10th. Peter Verney in 11th. And we've got Bruce McLeod in 12th. And we'll just flick on to the next page. I've gone all the way to the end. Doing really good tonight, aren't I? After Bruce, we've got myself in 13th. An absolute shocking qualifying run. Darren Friend in 14th from Old Mates. Dave Worrell back in the saddle in 15th. Brett Taylor, one of the new guys, in 16th. And Phil Marsh in 17th. Jeff Eddy in 18th. 19th, Scotty Perrins. Josh Drage, our race controller, all the way back in 20th as race control. And, of course, we don't have our safety car driver. Oh, we do. There we go. Our safety car driver in there as well. And Josh Grenshaw started from pit lane, I believe, at the back, or didn't qualify. Tony Powers in set of time, and nor did Lucas Burt. Christian Yellard or Laurie Sanders. So that's our starting grid. So I'll remove that one. And I'm going to start on Chopper View because I think everything that we're going to be talking about is all going to happen in the first few minutes. So let's get this started, boys.
Hello, everyone.
Scotty Perrins in the room and Brett in the room as well. How are you, Brett?
Good, boys.
Good. And we'll just hit play. We'll get going on this. So Matthew Mitt's got a pretty poor start there. You saw him dropping away. And most of the leaders, Mark Dial getting away really well. And Tim Betts getting the jump on Andrew Galley here. And we'll just keep an eye on a few brakes, a few loose tyres. Darren Waldron going a bit wide. Ed Cullens with a slow down, taking the let's park it up and stop option first. And just keep an eye on Van Loon here, letting down the Dutch name. And Simon Pinball Wizard Farrington caught up in the middle of it all, bouncing off the cushion. And don't laugh, I got caught up as well. Clipped the grass coming back off and almost got killed. And we'll just continue on down the straight. The boys got going quite well. Mark Dial off on a flyer.
I was quite happy with my lucky escape from that one.
Very lucky. And jump back, Andrew Galley on the chase. Tim Betts. And just so I can keep up to date with all the talking topics, we'll jump on with Lucas Burt. So Lucas started from the pits. And absolute flyer here. A few guys off wide. He managed to latch onto the back of the pack in front. As you can see, we've got a slow car in front with engine issues. And then poor old Lucas has done the dive and got stuck behind the car and then, yeah, found the footpath. And now we have a safety car, basically.
So that was the other guy's fault, obviously, eh?
Oh, it was a bit of everything. Yeah. We'll dissect that one a bit later. And let me click on here. Yeah, so evening, gentlemen. We've just had all the action in the first minute. That's the bulk of the action for the night.
Evening, John.
How are we, Chris?
Good. Good. I was just going to say, you can see from that first couple of corners that the reason why Scotty Van Loon doesn't come up as Pecky is because he's only a probationary member of the team at this stage.
Well,
Thanks.
You've got to learn to swear a bit more.
well, I did notice that because he didn't make the picture with Timmy Nicol, Sips, and himself. Of course, I noticed Pecky sitting there with the big shoulders, acting like the team boss.
Sitting, he's standing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't realise he's actually standing on a stool. Sitting down.
And the bald-headed dildo's next to him.
And just why safety cars are good fun on this place because we're going to be sitting here for 10 minutes. And Johnny King's in the chat. Anita Buckland, who's coming to join us in season 13. I hear the new rig's been ordered. And of course, Dave Baldock's best mate, Will Wilson's here as well. And just thought I'd share as well while we're under the safety car. I'll share this one for you, Will, if it pops up. And it didn't. Maybe not.
Wrong one.
It's not working. What a bummer. I had it set up before. Oh, my bad. Anyway, we all know Dave Baldock Forza Forces. I just about thought I'd found all the horse gifts, but Will found me another one. But anyway.
Apparently horses are allergic to him.
Something's allergic to him.
And we're not allowed to talk about Dave's race last night because the split 2 hasn't been televised yet, so we'll just leave that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about split 2.
And while we're under the safety car, we'll start a new topic that I was going to start tonight. And since Josh Strage has joined us, we're going to play a new game called Ask Race Control.
Oh, you're playing with fireworks here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I actually like that one.
Where's Vargs? You need to answer those ones. I'd imagine the responses.
Look, I've got to take my hat off to Vargs being proactive, going into the feedback channel and saying I want some feedback as race control. That was pretty brave, opening up the doors to 100 vets.
I think it's a very good thing. He's because everyone's got their own opinion on how they see incidents, and I think it's actually a little bit refreshing how race control and vets actually perceive a lot of incidents compared to other leagues that I've been in. Other leagues that I've been in, it's always the car behind's fault. And I know a lot of times it can be, but it's not always. So
no.
I'm actually very refreshing how, and I don't always agree with race control as well. Believe me, I don't. But I think it's very refreshing how they're willing to look at things and how they are willing to declare things as being racing incidents as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, it's not an easy gig, and I think you've really got to step on the other side of the fence and have a look at it. And I've kind of fallen this year to be heavily involved with the Logitech G Pro series, and I'm basically the assistant race director and number 2 safety car driver, and sit in with the stewards overseeing what's going on behalf of the management team. And it's just chaos. Like, I don't know if you saw round 2 at Winton, and it was just so full on it wasn't funny. And Josh, you'd probably attest for that for most races you've been in, like even with East Coast, there's times where it's just that much happening, it's hard to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of dissect, like between both cars that are involved or multiple cars involved. You've got to go all the way back to where it started and then go from there. And it can take a long time to decipher actually who was at fault, if any.
How many do we have in race control at one time? Just one person?
There's 2 usually.
Two.
So if you go to a real event, they've got 6 or 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I've done in the last month is I've actually done quite a few of the Motorsport Australia courses for stewards and got my bronze ticket there and race officials and all that sort of stuff. And you start to get a really good appreciation for how it all works when you start getting involved at that level. And the other thing I'm going to do, which I said I would do, just to upset everybody. Rear chase. Yes, Mark Dial. Tick. Galley. Split 3 are all good here.
For the banner check.
Yep, banner check. Make it public.
Oh, come on. You're trying to be the policeman, are you?
Yeah. So, Joseph, well,
There's one.
Yep, Joseph, I'll give you a hand, mate. Send me a message later and I'll organise a banner for your car. Same thing with you,
Alright.
Tristan. If you're there, mate, I'll organise a banner for your car as well.
And the next one. Oh, no.
No, Jeff's good.
Yep.
Jeff's the only one that's used the blue. Well, this is,
Yeah, it is too.
this is impressive. Oh, look at that one. That's a good looking car.
I think I heard we had 11 in split 1.
11, yeah. So
Ooh.
we've got 3 in our split. So,
That's not bad.
so Pete, mate, as well. If you want me to organise a banner for yours, send me a message, mate, and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, well, Shadow Racing had a new skin last night, and that night before I was whacking some banners on for the boys. So.
Don't jump to the pits. And where are you, Ed?
That one lost its engine.
It did. It blew
I
up.
didn't know the damage model went that far.
Yeah.
There you go, Ed. That does look very impressive on the front, mate.
It was a Ford, though, wasn't it?
I'll pretend you didn't say that.
So, trying to have a look at Ed Cullen's car. Yeah, definitely looks smart, Ed. I did notice it was new.
Yeah, I think I might tone down the wheels a little bit. A bit on the bright side.
I did have a good laugh when I saw this blue car going backwards, and I'm going, who the hell's that? And I was like, I'm thinking that's, thought it was Darren Waldron, because his car used to be similar to that colour. And I thought, oh, that's Darren. And then it's like, no, that's Ed. It's like, oh, that's good.
No, it's a very nice skin done by John. So very unusual having the stripe down one side and not the other. So.
And of course, John spelling his name Jon like myself, and had a great surprise last Saturday that we share the same birthday.
Oh, you're kidding.
Not,
Yeah, you and Latham.
me and Latham share the same date for our
right.
birthday. Yep.
And of course, our main sponsor from Racecraft, his name's John, spelt with Jon as well.
Yep.
Same way,
Yep.
yeah.
And John King as well. I think's in the chat.
I know, it's crazy.
Yep.
Oh, was it popular around then, was it?
I think
No, I don't think the H was popular.
no. I think for most of us, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm not sure about the others, but it's a abbreviation or shortened version of Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only get called that by my mother when I'm in trouble.
Yeah, when you're told off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And she still does it.
I named my son Jack, and I just spelt it J-A-K, which is a little bit unusual.
That's my grandson's name, Jack.
There was a lot of Johns got called Jack as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Nickname?
There was a nickname. That's more from our day.
Yeah.
That's old.
John F. Kennedy.
Also, we're spending so long under a safety car. Big shout out to young Brandon. Did a great job. Got it into the pits in one piece. Just.
Oh.
Nearly one for the highlights.
Nearly one. He's doing well, young Brandon. We've thrown him in the deep end very early when he's come on board with the team. Wake T, your safety car driver in vets.
So lap 2, me and Matthew are together, and I think lap 22 about the same distance between the two of us.
And
It was never much further than that for the whole
Nah.
race. It's crazy. It was like having a trailer for the night.
You
and
had a tow rope on him, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. It felt like a couple of times he got past.
Keeping you
What-
on your toes.
Yeah,
It's what you
ooh,
need to do around that circuit. Get in a pack.
oh, absolutely.
definitely-
I
definitely
was
getting
determined just to go out there, go hard, and just go at it and let everyone just sort it out themselves. I could see Dave and what's his name there fighting on. I thought you two keep fighting. I'm just going to
Timmy.
keep going as hard as I can.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think Andrew's game was basically to tuck in behind you and try and save fuel.
It was, but then he got caught up battling with the second and third there, and then I thought, well, you guys keep going. I'm just going at it.
Yeah, I get the feeling there wasn't much space between you two for the whole race, was there? Mark, you and Andrew?
Yeah, he got a lot of slowdowns. He said after the race, which ruined him. But yeah, this was the only part of the track I was able to reach out with the bottle, grab a drink.
It's hard to believe we're going to go from here to Oran Park.
Yeah, you were talking about race control being overwhelmed. Wait till
Yeah. It would be crazy.
It will be crazy.
Yeah, crash fest heaven. Especially turn one.
Split 3 should be fine. If there's only 20 odd cars, 23, 25 cars.
Yeah,
right.
but we'll have a slight advantage there.
How many quick repairs have we got for Oren?
One.
Oh, fuck.
But he was trying to do this. Let me just do my homework before I speak. It's a good little track, though. If everyone respects each other and doesn't really think about the past before you make it,
Yeah.
it's
It's a track where you got to be very, very
precise.
patient.
There's only really 2 turns you can pass on, right? It's the
Yeah.
last corner and the first corner.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a freight train in between.
Yeah.
and we'll just wait for people to stuff up.
And you got 77 laps, so people will stuff up.
I don't know, how does tyres go here, guys? At Oran Park.
They go around.
Yeah.
Well, I could.
The right-hand
say-
side will wear out on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does depend on the setup a little bit, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to
Normally
be.
your right tyres will actually, deteriorate. Sometimes you can just change 2 tyres on the car. There you go, down one side.
There's going to be crashes coming in the pits as well. So tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So,
Of course,
77 laps.
last time vets raced at Oran Park, a certain godfather of the league didn't even make it across the start line.
Who was
Really?
that? Dial.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a good laugh.
Jesus, Mark, you either on or off, aren't you, mate?
Does anyone have video?
Yeah.
What is his name, Blanche? If there's no video, it didn't happen.
I'm sure there will be
right.
somewhere.
Yeah, there is, unfortunately.
Don't stick up for him, Blanchy.
I'm not sticking up. I'm just asking. Where's the pictures?
Let's might jump back here. Where's Michael Power? There was a good little battle going on back here.
Details, Mark? Details?
No, I don't give out details on that one, mate.
Okay.
But if you had asked him before Le Mans, he would have told you about his 358.
357.
Oh, 357.
Yeah, I've got it down to 357.
Sandbagger.
No, here, it's about maximising the lines, the high speed. You got to get the high speed lines right to keep the speed up. I've done enough laps here to know that. Yeah, I know the right lines, especially through here. On and off the gas a little bit. So yeah, it's a good lap. I love doing a lap here in any car.
Yeah, an LMP2 and an LMP1, it's a great track.
Oh, that was good. It was good in the supercar. Loved it.
I might have to invest in the new Radical and have a bash around here because it'd be quite cool.
Not done over V8 with that, right?
No, but they got a lot of aero.
It is a track that really does suit.
Sorry, guys. Buggered that up, didn't I? These boys having a great little battle here. And Will Wilson, is it Driver's Lounge or Vets 360? Depends if you Critch Blanchard or myself. So,
What was that one?
Will Wilson wants to know whether this is the Driver's Lounge or Vets 360. So I think it was yourself. I think Blanchy started calling it 360.
Yeah, one and the same. One and the same.
And John, this is where I started looking at the very familiar side of the back side of your car. Stayed there all night.
Well, the old Cataclysm on the back there, and I was quite surprised. I can't remember who it is. One of the boys has got Cataclysm on the back of their car as well. I think it was yourself. So this is where I was quite happy. I was sitting up behind Michael, and I'm going, okay, yep, I've recovered from the lap one. I've got a lot more fuel than everybody else because I pitted, and not many people pitted under the safety car. I just thought I'm just going to sit behind Michael here and just tuck in.
So, I'll ask the question for the split free guys.
Mm.
After
Split three champion, we'll let you ask a question, yeah.
But after last night's race, what do you think you learned from that track? Is it a track that you think helped you?
Oh, I'll let the new guys speak first.
Hey,
I was thinking the same because I already know this track.
I'll speak for a guy in his second series. Through the fast portion section, on and off the throttle, turning in the car with the throttle, I learned at this track.
Yep. What about patience for a lot of guys? Did you learn patience here? Because the reason I'm asking this, it's such a long track, it gives you time to work on that. Instead of most tracks, you got too much going on all the time, whereas here you've got that time to be able to work on those things. Like as you said, your throttle control, your patience, your planning.
Yep.
You know what corner's coming up next?
Oh, we'd hope you'd know that on every track, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do, but you got a lot more time to plan it.
Okay, yeah.
To be honest,
Um,
it's a
like
track where
winter,
patience.
You
Yeah.
don't have winter, you don't have time to scratch your nuts.
But also this track, I found it took a lot more patience to pass because it takes longer.
Yes,
Like,
and that's
if you think you're going to get somebody on one of the straights and you don't, so you got to wait till the next straight, and maybe you don't, you got to wait till the next straight. So, and you don't want to do something stupid like I did.
yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. Is that something that people have brought away from this week from the time
100%.
on this
Absolutely.
this circuit?
It was a huge learning curve for me last night, this track.
Yep.
First track was the concrete jungle, and then this one. So thanks, whoever set up the That's fucking awesome.
And that's, I guess, you've tapped on something there, Blanchy, that I think goes a long way for a lot of people. And even in the concrete jungle, it was obvious there as well. You know, you just got to be patient. You just got to plan it. Like, there's no point trying to win it in the first 2 laps when you're doing 22 laps around track like this. You really just need to be happy in the toe of somebody and just take your time and pick them off one by one.
I'd love to have done 44 laps, actually.
Yeah, it's
Right,
funny. It's funny. A lot of people said they found it boring, but yet I never found that. I found it's a track that you've got that time, and that's time that for me I use that to develop more. Not that it worked perfectly last night, but yeah. And I was just wondering, is that something other people found here?
Oh, look, once you get out of a train, you've then just got to knuckle down and just drive the car.
And you couldn't use fuel strategy last night because there just wasn't enough in it.
Yeah, there was. You followed somebody.
Oh, look, but there was also, if you were at the back of the pack when that safety car came out, the first one, you should have gone in because you got the opportunity to put a lap you'd already done, so say 8 litres plus another 8 litres in, so another lap, and then
catch a field.
Yeah, then catch the field and then clutch it, and then save another lap. So I think like my last stop, I was putting in 30 litres.
Yeah, and that saves you about 8 seconds when you get to your last pit stop.
Yeah.
Which is worthwhile, like as you said, for those guys that are at the back. For the ones at the front, definitely not worthwhile than doing that last night.
Yeah, and that's how I jumped you, Bruce. That's how you got you off my bumper, was the fact that last stop I was 8 seconds less.
Well, what's interesting is I stopped on lap 1 trying to just put every last ounce of fuel I could in it. And when I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I've got one more lap under my belt. I know that I'm going to run longer than everyone. So I'm just hooking in, just waiting, trying to fuel save and wait for the if you like, the seas to part. But let's just wait to see if that plays off.
But here, like, I knew I had Michael's pace, so I had to get past Scotty. Sorry, Scotty.
Sure, John.
And then the other one I found too was there was kind of like a yo-yo. Some guys were quite reasonable through from the Porsche curbs all the way through the Dunlop Bridge section, and then there was other guys that would sort of didn't have any pace through there, but were faster through the other half of the circuit.
Yeah, and that's where the patience comes in. Like, if you're going to sit behind a person for 3 or 4 laps, work out where you're faster, work out where they're faster, and then when you go to make your move, make sure the move's going to work and be suffice. Don't just stick the nose halfway down if you haven't got the room, because it normally will end in tragedy for both of you. You got to be patient and sit there. It might take 3 or 4 laps, might take 6 laps, but make sure when you go for your move, if you're going to go for the move, that the move's there, not half there, because that's where the mistakes come in.
Oh,
nice catch.
Very good catch.
Well, that was an interesting point, John, especially with someone following me the whole race. How I'd pull a gap at a certain section of the track, and he'd close that gap right up on another part of the track. So, yeah, it was because this track's broken up. The
Bruce.
Stop turn stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got those big, long, winding sections of person.
Like Bruce and I zigzagged like that for about 5 or 6 laps, where I'd get away from him through the tight section, and then down this area here, he'd be right on my bumper again.
Yeah, I'm just letting the draft close this back up again, and the back section, I'm off the throttle most of the way around the back.
And the difference are how people set up their cars, who's running their brake bias which way. That'll favour them on certain parts of the circuit.
Yep, 100%.
This is the first track, and it's because the track is so long, I've ever played with the bias between certain parts of the track, and I did that all race.
Yeah.
And it's only because you got the time to do it, and it pays off.
It does, because I was watching Tim Betts catch me last night in this race, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm doing something wrong in this corner here, because I'm not braking. He's out braking me. He's making ground under brake. So I started playing with bias and started, here you go. So I've gained a little 10th or 2 here in this sector.
Yep.
Work on it a bit more.
Yeah, No, you go, Eddie.
Oh, I was just going to say, Mark, you tend to play with your brake bias anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
That's not all he plays with.
I was waiting for it. He walked into it.
Well, I play with the accelerator.
Yeah,
Playing with
accelerator.
a lot. But that broken horse sensor actually helped me through the Porsche curves last night because I didn't need all that throttle all the way through, all the way around. So I just kept an eye on that through the Porsche curves. It was down the straights where it was really killing me off. If I wasn't on it and get on it, look at it straight away. Oh no.
And Brett, thank you for the apology straight away, mate.
It always helps, doesn't it?
Couple went off there.
You wouldn't have got that out of a Bulldog, would you?
No.
No, I wouldn't have got that at a Bulldog. Bulldog would have been laughing at me.
Yeah.
Brett apologised straight away, which I appreciate, and I love the sportsmanship we've got in this group. So, thanks, mate.
Oh, that was terrible, mate. I do apologise. That was shite.
Well, look,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Just got him too.
Oh, was that
Hey,
Scotty?
Johnny, you know that's why Scotty didn't try for split 2, don't you? Because of the sportsmanship.
Let's jump up the front and see what Dial's up to.
Lead.
Tony agree there, Will.
You do, that's right, isn't it, Scotty?
Absolutely.
Got a little bit in split 2, but it's not quite as good as what split 3 was last season.
No,
Getting there.
we just got to work on it as a group. We'll get there. And just why, and Andrew drops back to third, so Jeremy's got past him. So Dave's pulled the pin. I don't know how many people know that one at the moment. So
Dave Galley.
Yep, wins a race and drops the mic. I love it.
Well, mate, I won't miss him because he used to always run into me.
Nah, Dave's got a
Some good battles with him.
he's got a new job, truck driving, between Albury and Canberra, I believe. So
That's not truck driving. That's a local job.
just about, yeah. But I think it's all back of the clock stuff. I think he heads off at 2 o'clock in the morning or something. So
It's the one thing I don't miss about it is because you just don't have a life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
Good bloke to have around.
You're not in Discord with him, Ed.
Hopefully, if he has a night off or something and it falls,
he'll be back
on a wild card.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's paid for it. I'm sure. I'm going to tell Ben not to give him a refund.
Yeah.
I'm sure David happily donate to the Vets Fund.
And then
It's amazing. I was going to say it's amazing how many or current steering wheel attendants there are in here.
It's quite a few.
Hey.
Okay, the old Hofmeister, another one of the local boys here that's done the journey up and down the Hume a few times.
Pretty hard to drive a truck like a race car, isn't it?
I could tell you a story there, but
a lot of old drivers too. But,
I took a 19-metre double down the Walker Range one day because you're allowed to because they're only a general, and I'm coming into the corners and this warning's coming up on the FM dashboard, and I thought, what's this? Anyway, every corner, because I'd been through there on the motorbike so many times and I'm treating it like the bike. Anyway, I pulled up and I had a look. Oh, that's the ABS warning. Slow down, you idiot.
Good job the coppers weren't there because they would have done you, wouldn't they?
Oh, no, you weren't, like, I wasn't speeding, but I was just driving enthusiastically. I'll just put the word there. and of course, with a 19-metre double, they follow you like as if you got nothing behind you. So
that hill that goes to the Port Kembla, I think you can get done for going down there over the recommended speed limit, can't you?
Yep, over 40. Yeah. They love to watch down there. They years ago they used to watch for people's brake lights, but all the modern trucks, the brake lights come on regardless.
Yeah.
Scanias, if you got the retarder on, the brake lights will come on.
Yeah.
Volvos will actually go off the speed sensor if they actually detect the truck is decreasing speed. The brake lights will come on.
Yeah. Okay.
So do all you truckies watch the big trucks?
Hey, we need that. We need that in this game.
Truck racing would be fun.
No,
So
not
it's-
truck racing.
there we go.
Automatic brake lights.
Automatic brake lights.
There we go. In the chat, boys. Stephen Murray is an ex-truckie looking for a sim rig. Don't you worry, Stephen. We can help you out.
Where's Stephen based?
Don't know. Steve, in the chat, mate, where are you based?
Should sell him wheels. That'll slow him down.
And Will Wilson is just saying that the Hoff kept arriving at the destination with a full tank of fuel and got many promotions for it as the boys start making their first pit stop. And Scotty
That was a
Perrins
long
is
way
in.
out.
Scotty Perrins is in.
This is all on lap 8.
Yes, we are on lap 8.
And we're sitting on the pit entry to see if there's any stuff ups.
There we go. Stephen Murray is in Adelaide for that. So we've got quite a few South Australians from the old Adelaide there area in the series.
We won't hold that against you, though,
It was just,
at all, Stephen.
it was in Queensland could have helped him out with the rig.
Oh, here's a chance for you to get rid of some of your old crap.
I've already done that.
Have you got a set of pedals you got to get rid of?
Not yet.
Yeah, I got his old rig.
Not
Jeff-
yet, but
Jeff-
as soon as I do, they will be free to anyone after the. Well, there won't be a hall sensor on the accelerator because, as I said the other night, I'm going to make a video of it being put underneath the port pound hammer and send it off to Pan Attack.
And Jeff Thomas has just called Split 3 the Truckies rig, the Truckies split. But it's actually split. It's split 2, isn't it? Or it's off split 1 now.
No, Hoff's in split
Hoff's in one.
and he'll tell you how good he is because he's in one now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty. Stephen used to do Express Adelaide to Goulburn in a B double.
Oh.
Well, yeah, that's a nasty drive going to Goulburn. To be the coldest place in New South Wales.
Would that almost be a changeover spot, Blanchy?
Goulburn.
Yeah.
Have to be honest to a DC there.
Mm.
I think there is a DC in Goulburn now. But depends when he was doing it.
Mm.
You might find because over that distance, that's probably where he ran out of hours, and of course,
Yeah.
someone else might come out and change over.
Yeah.
Finish it off. I mean, this is how I learned to take lines. Like, people don't realise when I started was on the old Pacific Highway between Freeman's Waterhole and Brisbane. There was no divided road, and we used to cart beer, no straps. You just throw a 5-foot tarp over it, and you had to learn how to corner properly.
Mm.
4x2s down each side on the outside of the gunnel rail for the pallets to sit up and in on to give them a bit of lean in. 5-foot cap tarp. Bob's your uncle. See you later. Never lost a load.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do that with the Woolies trucks and just not lose load and just only stack 5 high, but geez, you can tip them over.
There you go. Goulburn was a changeover spot for Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it would have been.
And now you got straps just hold them down there, Mark.
No straps for us, mate. It's Lynn Fox. They don't use them.
They're a little refrigerated box is what he's driving in it, Mark.
Well,
Yeah, but they still too. I've already tipped a load over.
Oh, a few more in the pits. What's Ed doing? Ed's in the pits. What's Michael doing?
These are the boys that pitted on the safety car, is it?
Yep.
No, this is just a standard.
And
Is it
Christian's
lap
the
8 or
next
lap
one.
9?
This is lap 9.
Wow.
Yeah, lap 9, supposedly.
Yeah, start of lap 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we have someone each week talk a lap. Guess who the Muppet is this week?
Can't
me.
wait.
P1, buddy! Woohoo! So you put your foot your right foot down flat, and then you'd lift it up a little.